Hello and welcome back to episode 28, Club 7 of Unknown to World Known. We're back once again with Bayern Munich, and we are now just 2 wins away from winning the Bundesliga title. So since you were last with us where we had the win against Frankfurt, we then beat Leipzig 3-0 before a win against Schalke 2-0. Goals from Olner and Lammermont before a disappointing draw against Werder Bremen. However, I think Werder Bremen just seemed to have a thing for causing us a lot of trouble because you had the game in the cup where they scored a late goal to take us to extra time, so essentially it was a draw before that. And then earlier in the season we had a draw with them as well, just here. So they just seem to really cause us trouble more than anyone else in the league, bar Hertha Berlin, I guess, really. So for some reason they just really seem to not have our number because they don't beat us. They just seem to know how to not lose to us. We then beat Barcelona 2-1 in the quarter-final first leg. Goals from Lammermont and Pedri late on, getting us in a lead going to the new camp. However, they have got the away goal, which we need to be trying to get an early goal to counteract that. As mentioned, we're potentially 2 wins away from, well, potentially 1 win away from the title. However, what we're still going to do is we're going to show you the Barcelona game and the semi-final game. The reason being, although technically I can win the title in this episode, I can't win it in that game against Hoffenheim. It would be down to if Hertha Berlin then drop points to Werder Bremen the following day. So there's nothing really to show you in the Hoffenheim game because that can't confirm the title for us. However, it is an important title win because it is taking back the title after 3 years of Hertha Berlin winning it, and we need to make sure we end that. And what we'll most likely end up doing is claiming it in the game against Hamburg. But first of all, we've got a quarter-final second leg to play. Let's go and play that. So the lineup for today, we've got Kitenge in goal, the back four of Trent, Hoffmann, Bakari and Henrique, with Dude sitting in the middle of the wing backs, Koln and Grumman in front of him, with Pedri in the number 10, and then Lammermont and Ocampo up front. So once again, barring maybe Fran over Hoffmann, we are able to field our strongest team in this game, which has been quite a nice thing for us to have this year. We've largely had our strongest 11 out for majority of the season, other than when I choose to rotate them, but we've had majority of them available to be selected pretty much all season. So hopefully we can qualify for the semi-final, though Mackenzie's on a hell of a run here and Kitenge forced into a save, but it wasn't a very difficult save for him. So hopefully that won't... I mean, if they want to have shots like that all day, I'm sure Kitenge will save them all day. It's a throw-in for Barcelona now, and Mackenzie plays it with Ibarra. Nico finds Holmberg, who tries to get across him, but Kolev with the block. Nico ends up getting pickpocketed by Pedri. Ocampo's played it to Lammermont, who makes it 1-0 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate, and that has eradicated their away goal. So now we are level on away goals and 2 goals in front in the tie. If we can get 1 more goal, they need 4 tonight. So hopefully, if we can lower the tempo a bit, we'll just try and make them have to work for the ball, make them work for the goal, and maybe, just maybe, we can hit them on a nice counter-attack and make it 2-1. We're going to actually go with the high tempo, with in mind that we can try and hit them on that counter attack. We're going to drop to balance and just drop that defensive line just a touch to try and make sure we see that game out. There's one heck of a game going on in Paris. It's 2-2 there. I don't know what the score was going into it, but very good second leg at the very least. Jean Carlos plays it out to Wagner on the right hand side, and he plays it back to De Verne. And the ball comes in from the far side, and Mackenzie heads wide of the bar. One thing I noticed in the first leg as well, which made me laugh a little bit. Obviously, sometimes you get a player with an injury and you'll get it pop up in the corner like that, saying, oh, so-and-so's picked up a knock. Do you want to make this sub? Do you want to take him off? Etc, etc. Well, in the first leg, when Wagner picked up an injury for Barcelona, it came up, giving me the option to take him off. I wasn't quick enough to react, so I didn't click it, but I'm interested. I wish I had, just to see what would have happened and whether I could have made that decision for them. Maybe the game forgot that I'm no longer Barcelona manager. Who knows? Bakari plays it to Dude, and they're just passing it around between them back to Kitenge, who's going to bring it just outside the box, play it out to Ditloff, and then Kolev with a poor pass. Fabio Silva forces Kitenge into a save, but my Fabio Silva would have done better than that. Ball towards the far post, Bakari heads away, and Pedri is on the end of that. No, he's not, because he's been fouled. Surely that's a booking. We were on a breakaway there. Oh, and nobody picking up the man in the open space. Is that an option on this? See, I often deal with the... No, there's not an option to have... Oh, I'm on attack, that's probably why. Edge of the area. Right there. He's on edge of the area. And he's not done that. Well, that's an odd one. Because surely you can't be leaving a man like that. You just never would. It looked reminiscent of the goal back in 2015, I want to say. Manchester United versus Liverpool. United had a free kick, played it to Daley Blind on the edge of the area, and he hit it from there, and it went straight in the back of the net. I was at Old Trafford for that game. It was a very fun day. It was also the game where Benteke scored that bicycle kick, which we were... Oh my God, how on earth have we nearly conceded there? We got control of the ball and then passed it back towards our own goal. And DeLuise heads on Newman, gets ahead of that Kitenge, but Kitenge makes a good save this time. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted. The Benteke bicycle kick, we were sat in the United fans, of course, and everyone around us kind of just went, okay, fair enough, yeah, that was a really good goal. Which was quite bizarre to see, just the way that everyone just appreciated it. That is us through to the semi-final, and that is one heck of a game. The other leg must have been 2-2 as well, because they went to extra time, and then PSG seal it 4-2 in extra time. In fact, the second half of that game was rubbish. There was nothing happened in the second half. Into the semi-final we go. Do we know who we're playing yet? AC Milan or Manchester City? How did their first leg go? Let's have a look. 3-0 to Manchester City, so we're probably playing Manchester City there. And look at that, they've got Liverpool back-to-back as well. We'll be back for the semi-final game against Koln. And maybe as Bundesliga champions. I'd rather that not happen because I'd like to get it on camera, but obviously can't happen in the game. Hopefully we get it in the Hamburg game in tomorrow's episode. Let's go and play Koln. And we're back for the semi-final game against Koln in the German Cup. But before we get into that, we have some big news. We came from behind against Hoffenheim to beat them 2-1. And following that, Hertha Berlin drew with Werder Bremen, which means your Bundesliga champions 2033-34 is Bayern Munich. The title is back with the team that has won it the most times in history, ending Hertha Berlin's 3-year reign as champions is myself and my Bayern Munich team. Werder Bremen doing us a favour there, although does take the moment away from us having it on camera, because it wouldn't have happened in the Hoffenheim game anyway. It happened after it, which is why I didn't bother to show it. But there we are, confirmed as champions. If we just scroll down here, there it is. So we're now one part of a potential treble. Let's go and see if we can get into the final for part 2. And here we are for that semi-final. We've got Katendre in goal. Back 4 is going to be Hoffmann, Bakari as the centre-backs, Ditloff and Henrique as the wing-backs, Dude sat in the middle of them, Kolev and Grumman in front of him, and then Pedri as the number 10, Ocampo and Lambermont up front together. And it's time for semi-final. I'm not sure if the other semi-final has been played at the same time. It is Leipzig versus Hertha Berlin. Probably, well, easily the harder half of the draw. Although Koln, they're in the semi-final, they're not to be taken lightly. Grumman gets a shot away, and it's well wide in the end, but a early sign of our intent. We are going to play a little bit easier football. I feel like this is a game where we can break them down, and we're not going to be in too much trouble. That goal we conceded against Hoffenheim, Leipzig are 3-0 up already against Hertha Berlin. I didn't expect that. Hertha Berlin not losing the title very well at all. As I was saying, the game against Hoffenheim where we conceded through an own goal as well, which made it a bit more grumpy for me. Pedri makes it 1-0, the assist coming from Ditloff, who has had a quite fantastic breakout season here. He's been really impressive, and I mean, ideally, it would be lovely if we could take him with us if we do leave this summer, which, now that we've won the Bundesliga, it's on the cards. As I was saying before the goal rudely interrupted me, the own goal that we conceded to Hoffenheim was our first goal conceded in 10 league games. It's a Bundesliga record and one of the best runs I've ever had, which has been fantastic. As Grumman is at the far post, makes it 2-0 from the Ocampo cross. And we are looking firmly in control of this game now. And it looks like we're heading towards a Bayern Munich-Leipzig final. And of course, we've still got the Champions League to play it as well. We've got Manchester City to battle in the semi-finals. That's going to be a tough game, but hopefully we can come out on top of that. And then after that, we've got a World Cup this year as well. So we've got a lot going on at the moment as we play out very nicely from the back. Ocampo heads down to Kolev. Ditloff now making a break forward. Kolev plays it off to Grumman. He sends it out to Ditloff on the right-hand side. Finds Ocampo. finds Pedri, but he's offside, unfortunately. And that one is going to be disallowed on this occasion. I forgot to turn my light back on. Here we are. Let's get all lit up. That's why he was offside for that goal. He wasn't happy to do it while the lights weren't on. And just trying to also figure out what we're going to do this summer. Because, of course, World Cup year. It's potential for a lot of manager movement, most importantly. So it could be that a chance opens up for us to... Oh, Bakari. Oh, he's offside again. It could be that this summer we get a chance to return to Italy and go after the Serie A title finally. Or, of course, we could return to the Premier League. Although, my preference would be we walk into Italy, win the title in 1 year, and then we head to the Premier League. Would be my preference. But who knows whether that will materialise that way. We'll have to wait and see. Leipzig with a fantastic chance to get back into this there. But it goes wide, and we're just going to bring Tegan on for Grumman. I have got my mind on that Champions League game, of course. We're going to bring Pedri off now for Sevda, actually, who has struggled to get back into the team since his injury. I think it was a broken ankle that he had, and since then Tegan's kind of took over the hot prospect in midfield role. We're going to rest Henrique for the last 15 minutes. 5-0 now. Hertha Berlin are losing by. I can't believe how they've been absolutely dismantled. And if I'm being completely honest, that suits me. I'd rather play anyone but Hertha Berlin in the final, because playing me, they'll be out for revenge. Lammermont, unlucky with his pass to find Sevdet, but Sevdet lays it off to Tegan, who makes it 3-0. And that is confirmation that we are going into the cup final. And a true chance at a domestic double coming in here. And then if we can bypass Man City, we could then have a treble on our hands. But there we are, through to the final. Fantastic performance there. And that means we've got Leipzig to play soon. We'll be looking forward to that. But first of all, we've got to go and do the job against Man City tomorrow. Let's go and have a quick look at the schedule. With the win in the bag and a German Cup final prepared for us, we will be back tomorrow with Manchester City double header. We'll play both legs of that because there's no need for us to play the Hamburg or the Dortmund game anymore. We'll just come back for those games. And then the day after, we'll have a German Cup final. And maybe a Champions League final. We might do a special by itself for that. If you did enjoy that, please do leave a like down below. Comment what you think we're going to win this season. We've already got the Bundesliga. Are we going to get a double? Are we going to get a treble? Or is that all we're going to get? Let me know what you think down below. And do subscribe if you are enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.